Okay, so this is my third example of factoring trinomials of the form x squared and then a something x and then a something. And switch to my green that I had before. There we go. Okay, my first term is an x squared. So like the other two examples, when your first term is an x squared, it's always going to be x times x. All right, that's it. Now you go to your last term. Now this time I have a 32, but it's a negative 32. Aha. So when you have a negative, I have a negative right here, there's only one possible combination. It has to be a positive times a negative. Or I suppose you could say negative times positive, it's the same thing. In my first two examples though, my third term, my last term, was a positive. So it either had to be a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative. And you decided by what this guy was. But this one, I have a negative 32. So one number has to be positive and the other has to be negative. So now, let's go over to the 32 and look at all the possible factors of 32. Well, obviously, 1 times 32 is 32. 2 times 16 is 32. Is 3 a factor? No, 3 does not divide into 32 evenly. What about 4? Yes, 4 times 8 is 32. What about 5? Nope, only numbers that end in zeros or 5 are divisible by 5. This ends in a 2. 6. No, 6 won't work. I know 6 won't work because 3 didn't work. If 3 is not a factor of 32, 6 won't be either, because 3 is a factor of 6. 7, nope, that doesn't work. And when I get to 8, I can stop because I already have 8 right here. All right, those are all my possible factors of 32. Now, I am looking for the pair, because I'm going to put one number here and one number there, and so I've already decided that one has to be a positive and the other one has to be a negative. You can put plus and then minus or minus and then plus. It doesn't matter right now, but when you go to stick your numbers in, it will. Now, my middle term is a negative 14x. Now, before, we were always looking at the totals. We were like, well, 1 and 32, that adds up to 33. 2 and 16, that adds up to 18. 4 and 8, that adds up to 12. But that was when we had a plus sign here. We don't have a plus sign here. Whoops. Aw. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Fix that. We have a negative sign there. So we're not looking. One of these numbers has to be positive and the other one has to be negative. When you add positives and negatives together, you actually subtract. So the pair that I'm looking for have to have a difference of 14, and that would be this pair right here. And I need, the sign here is a negative 14, so I would need to have a positive 2 and a negative 16. If you have 2 positives and you add it to 16 negatives, you'll have 14 negatives left over. Think about it like this. You got $2 in your pocket. That's a positive thing. Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, where's the 16 bucks you owe me? Well, you can reach into your pocket and you can give them the 2. Okay, but you still owe them 14. 2 of the positives knock out 2 of your 16 negatives, but there's still 14 left. So since I already put the positive sign here, the 2 has to go right there. And then with the negative will be the 16. And so that's my answer. An x plus 2 times an x minus 16. Or if you want to put x minus first, that's fine, but you have to put the 16 with the minus sign. Okay, either one of those is fine. And if you FOIL them back, it'll check.